top says, "Getting tanked." That's my life motto. I feel like I should get that tattooed. Like, hey you guys, what's up? It is Michaela. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit scritchy. I don't know why, but my throat has been like extremely dry, like all the freaking time. But all I do is drink water all day, every single day. So today's video is about becoming a server. I want to answer the question of, do I want to serve? Should I become a waitress? That's what I'm planning on answering today. Hopefully this provides some insight as to what serving is like. I do want to give a quick disclaimer. I have only been a waitress for about a year, and I have never worked at a restaurant that is like an IHOP or Denny's or Cracker Barrel or anything like that. It's kind of more of a, I wouldn't say it's like a high class type of restaurant. It's more like middle class. It's like Olive Garden, Longhorn, things like that. A place where the food is still expensive, but it's not like, oh, I have to dress formally. That's like my experience with serving and waitressing. So anything that I talk about in that video will be coming from that place. I hope you understand. What is that? I don't know. Oh, it's on the camera. Let's start with the expectations. What you may expect when you're considering a job in serving. You may think that you will make a lot of money. You may also think that you might not have to work that much. You may also think that it is an easy job. I'm here to tell you that all of these are partial truths. They're not necessarily lies, except for the one about it being an easy job. It's never an easy job. But the other two are like partial truths. They're not necessarily complete lies, and they're not necessarily completely true. And here is why. Some nights you will make bank. Some nights you will go home with $150 in your pocket in cash. And some nights you will only go home with like gas money. You might make like $10. And that could be, it all depends on business. It really just depends on business. How well your restaurant's going, how many people are coming in, if they need you to stay on the floor or not, things of that nature. The longer that you stay on the floor, the more tables that you get, of course, the more money you are going to make. And some nights they're unavoidable, they're just slow. So you may get on the floor. I've had many shifts where I've come to work, I get on the floor, I'm on the floor for an hour, I have like 2 tables, and they're like, alright, you can go home. And I'm like, great, I made $10. And granted, that's like only gas money, but it's still like something. And there are some nights when I come in, I work a full shift, and I leave with like $100 in my pocket, and I can pay all of my bills in like 2 days. You know, it's never, you do have that happy medium, you know, that you ride along. And then some nights, like especially Mondays and Tuesdays, tend to be really slow, at least at my restaurant. And then the rest of the week, it just kind of slowly inclines and it just kind of picks up. As far as you hardly having to work, like I said, it always depends on business, except on holidays. Most restaurants will require you to work on holidays. If you decide to not, you either have to give away your shift on a holiday so someone else can come in for you, but you cannot call out. At a lot of restaurants, that is basis for automatic termination, simply because at restaurants, holidays tend to be very busy, especially at the restaurant that I work at. 4th of July was very busy, surprisingly, and Valentine's Day is extremely busy, Mother's Day is extremely busy, Father's Day is extremely busy. Surprisingly, Easter is very busy as well. So on holidays, you better be ready to come in for the long haul. One time I just worked a shift. It was literally 12 hours. I had no break. I had barely peed. My feet were on fire. I was just ready to go home. But I came in practically at open, and then I stayed on till close. But pretty much everyone did. Everyone came into the restaurant expecting to be there until close. And most of us were. The next point is serving is not an easy job at all. requires a lot of multitasking. It requires a lot of heavy lifting. It requires very good people skills. It requires very good communication skills. It requires a lot of patience. You are going to have people ask you the same question 1,000 times every single day. You are going to have people that take forever and a half to order. You're going to have people that come in and they sit at your table in your section for 4 hours and prevent you from getting any other tables. You're going to have people that come in and complain about their food for no reason other than to just get their food for free. You will literally hear people say, "Oh, I didn't like it." What am I supposed to do about the food that you ordered that you didn't like? I can't do anything about that. Sometimes people can be very rude, or they don't appreciate the work that you do. People come, if a person has never served before, you can tell people that have served before from the people that have never served before, because those are the people that have never served before are the people that come in and you bust your tail. Like, you get their salads when they need them, you get them bread as much as they need, you get them refills, their food comes out perfectly on time, and they constantly talk to you about, "Oh, the service was so great," and then they end up tipping you $2. Like, I don't think enough people realize that as servers, we do not get paychecks. We get paid $2.13 an hour, and then taxes are taken out, and then we have nothing left. The tip that you leave on our table is our bill money. It's our gas money. It's what some servers feed their kids with. It's what some servers buy their kids clothes with. It's what some servers are supporting themselves on. It's what every server is supporting themselves on. So you will have tables that tip you $2. I've had tables tip me 35 cents before. And it was the most frustrating thing in the world, because I did my job as a server, and I felt like at that point, when I don't get the appropriate amount of tip, I feel like my work has not been appreciated, and it really, 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 really gets underneath my skin. So enough about the negative reality of the job. Let's get into the positive aspect of the job. You will meet some awesome people. You will have tables that are amazing. They will make you laugh. They might make you cry. They will touch your heart. Their kids will be amazing. But all in all, you will meet amazing people. There is no denying it. You will have awesome tables. You will have tables that laugh at your cheesy jokes. It just makes it a little bit better. It's like that little ray of sunshine that makes everything better. Your employee discount will also be amazing. Like I said, I've been serving, and at the restaurant that I work at, we get a 65% discount. And the food that we make is not cheap, but I get it for cheap because it's just my employee discount. I can come in and I can eat. Also, if we are just coming in to eat on like a day that we don't work per se, we still get 20% off of our check, which makes life a lot better. Next thing that is also very positive about working as a server is you will make amazing work friends. The people that you work with as servers will inevitably become your work family. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There is just no. You guys will work together so much. You guys will see each other so much that you will make some amazing server friends while on the job. And that means that you will consistently have someone to hang out with that also works the same schedule that you do. People that work in restaurants will always be interesting. A lot of people that work in restaurants come from all over the place. Because you work in a restaurant, you might be exposed to people that are a little more cultured, especially in the kitchen. If you work in a really fancy place, you might meet people that have studied culinary in France, and that's awesome. Like my one of the people that I work with, they're from California, and I've never been out to California, and they have not lived in Tennessee for that long. So we just talk about how different everything is all the time. And I'm not originally from Tennessee, so I'm not used to everything here. But people that work in a restaurant are always very, very interesting. And that makes the job a lot better. Another benefit of being a server is your work stories will never be boring, ever. There was one time that I literally spilled sweet tea down a woman's back, and she was not mad about it at all, surprisingly. It had been 100 degrees that day. She was like, that feels actually kind of good. And things like that. But you always have interesting work stories. And your work stories will be forever like endless. You'll always have something to say about work. Next thing is your schedule can be pretty flexible. If you honestly don't feel like working, but you, like at other jobs, like if you're like a cashier, if you don't feel like working, you have to request a day off. As a server, if you don't feel like working and you didn't request a day off, you can ask someone to pick up your shift. Like the place I work at now, we have a Facebook group where we can post our shifts. And like, let's say one server is like, my kid is sick, I need someone to pick up for me. Then they can get their shift picked up. Also, if you're wanting to make some extra money, you can pick up some extra shifts. As long as you don't go over 40 hours, it's all good. Not one of the hugest, but one of the really nice perks of being a server is when you work a large party and it's a birthday and they give you a piece of the birthday cake. Pretty much anytime I work a birthday and they bring a birthday cake, they tend to have a little bit too much, and I get a slice of cake, and that's really nice, you know. To be able to get a slice of cake and then a little bit of a tip, it just makes the day better. So those are a couple of things to expect as a server, at least from my personal experience. Serving is an awesome job. It's one of the most favorite jobs I have ever worked, ever. I don't ever wake up and say, oh, I really, really, really don't feel like going to work today. There are times where I'm like, I really don't feel like going to work today, but it's not like I dread it. It's just, if I say I don't want to go to work, it's just because I want the day off. But serving can be extremely rewarding. You meet all types of new people, you make awesome friends, there's the food, everything of that nature. So if you are considering serving, I would highly suggest serving, just so that way you can see what it's like from a waitress's standpoint. Because after I became a server, I had a whole new appreciation for wait staff in general. Like, their job is hard. And I learned that they live off their tips. That's what they buy their groceries with. Literally what they buy their groceries with. And it just makes me appreciate the field a little bit more. But I hope you could learn something new. And if you're considering being a server, I hope that I can help you kind of make that decision for yourself or not. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good day. I will talk to you guys next time as per usual. Goodbye.